So as we are going live on the BCA live YouTube channel, this is our unedited version. And then once we edit, we will confirm. There we go. And I can reduce that and bring this back in. And then once we edit it, everything will be all jiving and looking beautiful. Awesome, awesome. Get myself repositioned. There we go. All right, I actually have us the wrong way. So let me do a quick pin. My apologies. I should have did this prior to. There we go. All right, my friend. Ready to dive in. All right. Well, welcome to the Wise Women Do podcast interview series. I am your host, Pamela McKinney, and we are produced by Linda J. Thomas. This is a space where we speak to business-minded women and the men who support them to be enlightened by the adversities they may have all faced in business, but in their journey, we reveal how they have navigated through to stay the course towards reaching their goals. And for those who love music, then I know you're going to love listening to the journey of our guest today. And he literally exudes his love of music in his namesake to build a global brand. As you're watching, please like and subscribe this channel and be sure to catch us once we officially go live on our edited with our edited podcast on the Wise Women Do podcast YouTube channel, on the FAVUniteRadio and Wombology World Radio, reaching over 40 countries. So today I welcome Mr. Carmichael Music Lover. Welcome to the broadcast, sir.
Thank you, Pamela McKinney, for having me on your show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have lost my notes as I dive in here. So we'll pause there. Yeah, to start all the way back up. My apologies.
Okay.
Mhm. Let me go here. Find them again. This is why we have our unedited version. There we go. Awesome. All right, Mr. Carmichael Music Lover. So, again, welcome. Thank you again for being with us today. So, what inspired your love of music, and how did growing up in the South shape your musical journey? I'd love to know.
What inspired my love for music?
Yes.
I think music chose me, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was already in me, and I accepted the call. I was 18 years old. I didn't start singing until I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an athlete, played sports, football, baseball, track. And so singing and music wasn't even uh, an option at that point. It wasn't because I grew up in a certain religion. I was Jehovah's Witness when I grew up.
Okay.
And I don't know, the music was great. It was more orchestrated, operatic type music.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone sings in unison, like in the Catholic choir. So that was my norm. But when I went to college, I went to this HBCU, and they had this thing called chapel that we had to attend.
Mm-hmm.
In chapel, I was exposed for the first time in close proximity to gospel music. And that's when I experienced for the first time goosebumps.
Wow.
Like, oof.
Wow.
And
Just
yeah, music that moved.
yes.
And that's when it awakened my desire to scratch the itch of that curiosity in me that was musically inclined. And that's when I started just being inquisitive,
Mm-hmm.
doing lip singing contests and singing in the choir all the way in the back. Because I was too shy to sing up front, but I was working my way towards building my confidence. And
Mm-hmm.
by my sophomore year, I had caught the bug. That was it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I want us to really, in our audience, to really think about your name, Carmichael Music Lover. I mean, that is your stage name, your brand that you have built since that time. And as you reflect on that story, it really does, put me in the mindset of this, young man who grew up, without all of this, spiritual music that really hit the soul. And then, going into college as late as college, and then really getting that indoctrination, I guess, and it just becoming a part of the essence of who you are. So tell us a little bit in regards to the stage name and the story behind that represents you.
It's actually three names.
Okay.
Carmichael, which is my legal surname.
Okay.
Uh, Music is the middle name, or
Okay.
it's the core of who I am. When you discover your calling, that's who you are. That's
Mm-hmm.
your and the core of who you are. So music is who I am. So Carmichael Music and
Mm-hmm.
Lover. I don't like confrontation. I don't like fighting. You know, I'm a lover.
I
Those
love that.
those are three words that describe who I am. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Carmichael, music, lover,
Yes.
and my music reflects them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so tell me a little bit about the decision to make that I mean, I know that's who you are, the core of who you are. And then you said, you know what, I'm just going to be who I am, and put that into the world, into the universe.
and it's true. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
once you accept the call of your purpose,
Yes.
you honestly don't own yourself anymore.
I love that.
You,
Yes.
you manage you,
Mhm.
and you manage yourself through the obedience of the decision. My phone is going off here.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Um,
that's okay.
Second, please. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You manage yourself, you manage your decisions, I'll say it that way.
Sure.
And so um, I lost my train of thought here trying to.
No, I mean, we were talking about the namesake, but I mean, I think you pretty well, put it into perspective as to how that became the brand that you put into the universe, into the world, and to build a business around is Carmichael Music Lover.
And my music is all about love. And so
Mm-hmm.
Evolution is all about relationships.
Yeah,
Uh, it's all about the rainbow at the end of, every storm.
I
It's, it's,
love it.
it's always positive resolution. I mean, right now I have about 200 songs out. And to this date, you can't find any negativity in my content. You
Mm-hmm.
walk. You have to name yourself as power in words, and so my name reflects my walk.
Yes,
You know.
understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So your music does blend jazz, soul, R&B. How did you develop your distinctive sound, and who are your biggest musical influences?
My biggest musical influences are people like Stevie Wonder,
Hmm.
uh, Donny Hathaway, uh, Frankie Beverly, Luther Vandross, all the crooners. I love fast music. I love hip hop, but it's something about ballads that make you think. I love things that move your mind. And then because when things move your mind with impact, it can change how you move yourself. You get what I'm saying? Right. Ballads usually do that for me. So I like a lot of the balladeers. Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman, Whitney Houston, those type singers.
Yeah. I wonder if at a young age, if you thought to put some money into rose business. I'm imagining you've given away a lot of roses in your career and on stage.
I'm different. I love flowers. I think women are the best human representation of flowers. They're very, they look, their essence. But one thing, since you brought it up, I don't believe in giving flowers with the root cut, because, and it's my own thought process. It's reflective of my love, then it needs to have a root on it. It needs to have something that you can nurture, and how it lives depends on how you love it.
Oh,
so I don't want love that looks good for 2 weeks on my shelf, and then it begins to slowly dwindle. And I have to think about replacing it with a new set of flowers. That's why relationships are struggling.
Yes.
But we got to get back to the root of everything.
All right.
So flowers, I give flowers, but they're potted. And that's reflective of my love. Take care of them, you'll take care of me.
Ooh.
When you see limbs turning brown, love it to life, or prune it, but don't throw it away and start thinking about the next
That's
plant,
right.
the next thing, the next new green thing. No. Love has to be nurtured. Love has to be put in a fertile environment. Love has to be talked to. You got to talk to your plants. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
You can never take a vacation from your plant. Go on vacation, that plant is dead when you come back. Love changes when you take a break from it. And so you can't separate, I can't separate cut flowers. And I associate that with the worldly view of love. It looks good.
Yes.
But it's temporary.
Wow. Okay, so I have got your music will prelude this interview so that we can get the ladies in the right mood, because you don't even have to sing, and you done already, brought a whole ballad all over us all. So thank you for that. I'll just say thank you. That was beautiful. So, what role does faith play in your life and career, and how has it guided you through pivotal moments?
Faith is my entire career.
Yes.
I'm in the area of R&B soul. It's an insult when people say, well, I only listen to gospel music. And a lot of times I just shake my head, because that means you don't really have a true understanding of what gospel is. Yeah. If I make music praising God, that's considered gospel. But if I make a song praising the beauty of woman, that too is gospel.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Gospel is praise, period. And so if we're singing to God every day and not giving to the least of those that he commanded us to love on, it's like, are you truly living in that truth of being, a Christian, or being, whatever you want to classify yourself?
Yeah.
So in all of my songs, and how I walk, and how I create in the freest form of expression, which is art,
Mm-hmm.
shows my intent towards praising women. Every song, every lyric, every day for life. That's gospel.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
it's a major part of my life. It has structured
Thank you.
who I have become.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And so having that as a structure of your life, I can certainly see how in pivotal moments when you may have to make a decision, left, right, up, down, how that comes into play, your faith. So it definitely is very strong, very strong. So thank you for sharing that. So you have been described as a mentor, a philanthropist. What motivates you to empower young people and the disadvantaged communities?
Well, your title ties into my life.
Mm-hmm.
I target those communities because a lot of people are misinformed about how success and wellness and well-being and prosperity, how that all comes about.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are thinking that if I pray hard or pray harder
Hmm.
or wish harder or go viral
Yes.
or find a friend who's the solution is in doing. But
Thank you.
before you can do, the Bible commands us to get understanding because you can start running yourself ragged because you don't have an understanding of how to go straight towards that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a system and there's steps and there's processes. So I go to disadvantaged places
Mm-hmm.
to bring light where there is darkness.
Oh.
You can't blame people for stepping on each other's toes and running into each other in a dark room. And so the people who have the light have a responsibility to go into places that's not church,
Mm-hmm.
gospel music.
Yes,
Go into
sir.
those places and be light, in whatever package you present into those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I go there to give direction of how to truly win is by understanding and then doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, the doing is easier and it's doable when there is understanding. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do a fireside chat on the Black Business Network, and my monthly conversation is about cracking the door of opportunity.
Mhm.
And I really speak high. I'm an advocate of those who have been successful, and it is your responsibility to enable others.
That's true.
Period.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
However your way is to do that, it is your responsibility to do that. So we're missing the ball there in some places. So I do appreciate the fact that this is a part of who you are. It really is important. People
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Mhm. So your performances are known for their authenticity and emotional connection. How do you prepare for a performance to create such a intimate experience for your audience?
Uh, could you repeat that question one more time? I got
Yeah,
distracted.
no worries. And it's all about the experience. But
Yeah.
what I'm asking is, if, your performances are known for its authenticity and emotional connection. How do you, and we already know that, but how do you prepare for a performance to create such an intimate experience for your audience?
Um, I really don't prepare. Um, I stay ready. I mean, when
That's it.
you Jesus didn't prepare to be Jesus, he just
Oh,
walked in it. And when
yes,
he showed up,
yes.
he was ready. Let me warm my hands up. Let me warm my healing up. Let me warm. He was ready. And so
Yes.
I think even in as pertains to relationships, people go into relationships and now prepare to be husbands and prepare to be wives. And I
Hmm.
would say as when you find a wife, that means you already got to be ready. When you find them, they're ready.
Yes.
We're not getting ready. In the down times is when we get ready. When we go out, we should be ready. If you're not out, if you're out and you're not ready, go back and get it. Go in some cocoon. Go in some quiet place.
That's
and
right.
prepare yourself.
Yes.
People are getting into things when they're not ready. And so when I go, wherever I go, if I show up, I'm ready. Or I feel like I'm ready to the best of my ability. And there's always room for, being better, but you live in the moment. You don't strive for perfection because nobody's perfect. You strive to just give your best in that moment and just be as authentic as you can. And that's the best you can do.
That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you said previously, just do something, just do it. If you don't ever take the steps to do these things, step out, after becoming prepared, then you're not making an impact. It goes so deep, but you're speaking my language and I love it. So,
Yeah.
Well, what challenges have you faced as an independent artist, and how have you overcome them to carve out your niche in the music industry?
What challenges have I
Have you faced as an independent artist, and your niche? How did you carve that out?
Oh, wow. Challenges are abundant, especially when you are a visionary and you're a leader.
Yes.
Smart opposition understands that you take out the leader, you've taken out an entire community. So
wow.
Face challenges every day.
Yes.
And the challenge is based around the title that your show, Wise Women Do. Everybody's not wise. So you have to be wise in order to get to that do part. Some people are just intelligent. Some people are just smart. And some people are in their own way. Some people are just stubborn. And so there are a lot of levels to get to wisdom. So the challenge is finding wise people.
Yes.
That's the challenge.
That is the challenge.
So we got to go through all those levels to get to wisdom, to finally get to doing, to finally get to outcomes. So that's the challenge.
Yeah.
Encouraging people, weeding out things from our lives that are a hindrance. The Bible says that we should die to ourselves daily, right? But most people misunderstand that. The word DIE, you can only die one time. So how can you die daily? If you die on Monday, it's a wrap. So I go into disadvantaged areas to provide clarity. There's another word that's spelled DI. Sounds just like die.
Okay. DI
means to separate. So we must die daily, which means DI, not DIE. That means today we must look for things that we need to separate from that are a hindrance to our lives so that we can get to wisdom. Yes. We need to get to wisdom by separating from things that keep us dumb, that keep us stubborn, keep us full of ourselves and too smart to be helped. Getting to wisdom is difficult, but it's doable with people who teach, men who provide clarity, men who walk what they talk and do what they say they're going to do. See, wise men do too,
Yes, so they do.
We have to be the example.
Yes.
We have to be the example, but you got to work through all the things that come before wisdom.
Yeah. Wow. So powerful.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really good stuff. Good stuff. So you have mentioned the transformative power of music. Can you share a specific moment when your music made a profound impact in someone's life?
Oh, it's a lot. That's to even mention. I have plenty testimonials for an artist that quote unquote doesn't make gospel music. My stuff speaks to people's relationships. It speaks to situations. I get testimonials from men who have said on countless occasions that their relationship was so bad that they could no longer communicate, and music had to be the voice. And my music was, one of the choices for communicating how they feel about the relationship. A lot of times, it can get so bad that you don't want to hear anything that a person has to say, but you'll listen to music, and music will convey that message on his behalf or her behalf.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, this song means a lot to us because it saved our relationship. It was able to communicate what I was unable to communicate in a moment where words were not acceptable. We argued, but the music spoke and it saved us. Or I get a lot of people who say, this was my husband's favorite song before he passed, and so can I use your song as I make this collage of pictures? And I had one testimonial where this lady could not come to my concert because she was in her last days of cancer. And it was like, well, she couldn't make the concert. So on the way to the airport, they said, well, can you stop by her house and just pay her a visit? And I was like, okay.
Yes.
I showed up, and she was laying in the hospice bed in the living room. I have a surprise for you. And it was like, he was like laying in the bed with a slow voice. She was like, well, who is it? It's like, you're about to find out. And they put my music on, and I sung her favorite song, and she sat still in the bed.
Oh my.
And she started dancing in the bed, and then halfway through the song, she kind of collapsed on the bed, and I stopped singing.
Yes.
And she said, keep going, baby. I just tired myself out.
Yes.
And I did the whole song, and then she told her husband, I want to stand up and take a picture with him. I don't want to be laying. And so she got out of the bed, we took our picture together. Told me a story. She said, whenever your music came on, my husband knew wherever he was in the room dancing, he knew to come up.
Come get me.
Dance. Yeah, come get me. Don't dance to nobody on our song.
Yes.
So that was the last photo she took.
Oh wow.
And that was a powerful moment for me. So that let me know what I'm doing works. I don't have to change. For the rest of my life, I'm going to continue to be who I am and continue to die to things that are not helpful for my life. I will continue to separate from those things, but the course for my life is set, and I'm just going to keep doing great music for people.
So beautiful and just powerful when you are able to realize your gift. Everyone is given a gift on this earth, and it's so sad when people don't get a chance to know what that is before they transition on. But when you have it and you lean into it, and that is the core of who you are as you are, sir, then that's when the transformative power of music shines through. So, wow. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I know I keep saying that, but it is. You're just a beautiful energy and being, and I'm so happy to have you on our show. So I'll keep it moving. But what new projects or music are you currently working on, and what can your fans look forward to in the near future?
Before I answer that question,
Yes.
here's one question that you didn't ask.
Oh, okay.
Are you single? Well,
that is a good question. Please tell us. I'm sure our listening audience would love to know. Please share.
I am single, very single.
Okay.
Not by choice.
Okay.
I mean, this is a serious topic here. When you're a purpose-driven man, The course of your life is already set. So the woman that attaches herself to your life has to understand that the purpose has already been set for my life.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be changed. When God created Adam, the first thing he gave Adam was work, responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
and the entire earth. What he gave Adam after that, because he realized that it was not good that man be alone, is he gave Adam the solution to all of his problems, a single woman. Now, he didn't create woman just for companionship. He created woman to co-author the mission, to be the sub to his mission. So when the Bible says to submit, it doesn't mean humble yourself under a man.
Yes.
It means to humble yourself under his mission.
Mm-hmm.
Submit. That's like a pilot of a plane having a girlfriend who's a flight attendant.
Mm-hmm.
She can't fly the plane. How can he ever take a break? How can he even go to the restroom? She can't do what he does. Therefore, how is she helping him? She must be his co-pilot, which means that she must know what he knows. She must know how to fly like he flies. Then he can rest. Then he can rest. Then he can rest. So when we learn how to submit properly, that means to understand a man, not just what he likes, and he don't eat meat and he likes velvet, no, not that. Understand how his brain operates, what he does, and know how to do it so that he can stop and say, tag, you're it. I'm going to go take it. That way the mission never stops. So to answer your question, I'm single because I have to continually search and scour the earth to find a wise woman that does. So the answer is correct. Wise women do, but you have to train people in the way that they should go and grow. But so many people are unwilling to have this kind of responsibility because it's not their calling. So I stay single because I can't have someone that can't fly the plane. Because therefore, if I ever get tired, we both gone, her and me. So men of purpose are literally isolated. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful life, but it's an existence that doesn't have a lot of people because not everybody wants to fly planes. They just want to be in first class. You know, they want the benefits of a pilot, but pilots need breaks. So I encourage wise women out there who are listening to continue to do, but do with understanding that you need to do it with an intent to truly be an asset and add value, not just companionship. A pilot has 200 people companioning him on his every flight, you know, but only one truly matters, and that's one right there that's able to truly add value and allow him to take a 5-minute restroom break and allow him to close his eyes and exhale and inhale and say, she has it. She has the wheel and I'm good. She knows where we're going and I know she's going to get us there. And so that kind of wise woman is what I still search for.
I understand. I understand. As you were speaking, what came to mind as well is that woman who does submit and support the man that she chooses, and he chooses her. And she also helps to fill in some of the gap areas that he may have need, or because he can't be all things. And that helpmate does fill in gaps. And so they're in it together, and he can close his eyes and she can as well, knowing that he's got that helm but also that she plays a pivotal role in filling some of the gaps that he may need as well. So I like to kind of think of her contributions in there and not just solely, and it's just me, just, she's not there. And there, like you said, everyone's not a leader, everyone's not a follower. There's some people are supposed to be followers. But everyone has a destination that they were in an intent that they were put here to do. And so I do think it can merge in that way when he kind of views her in that light. What do you think?
No, I think everybody does have a position and a place, but understand that using that pilot and first class lady analogy,
Mm-hmm.
pilot has a first class lady. Understand that pilot still needs a co-pilot.
Yes.
So there's a position that's of higher importance that's still vacant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in a relationship one time and I asked my lady, I said, do you want to be considered as my everything or not? She said, that's a crazy question.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want to do everything. I said, well, cool. Well, there's a lot of requirements to be everything, you know. And so there's a lot of understanding and that has to take place to be everything. And we must be willing to do what it takes to receive certain blessings in the physical world, in the spiritual world. You can't just rub the Bible and then no. We have to get understanding and then do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sure.
love that key word. You have to do the things that are required and put yourself in position.
Mm-hmm.
The pilot's co-pilot seat is not in the plane in the back area, it's in a certain position. God doesn't, he blesses in position. So in order to receive blessings, we must understand and do what it takes to get in that position. No matter how much you want to run things from first class, it doesn't work like that. And so
Understand.
important to get understanding and do it to where you're in position to now be able to receive those things that you desire.
Love it. So, with that said, and I'm so happy you brought that up and we interjected that because I think that's another powerful, train of thought for our listeners to take heed, and especially when we bring on the men who support women and vice versa. She
Yeah.
has his back as, in full well. So,
Yeah.
tell us about some of your new projects, new music, anything that you currently have going on.
I have 3 new projects
Okay.
of my own. I have 2 R&B soul projects. One is the typical Carmichael R&B soul.
Okay.
Another is an Afrobeat R&B soul because I went to Africa recently and
Mm-hmm.
influenced that sound. So it's a whole nother project with the Afrobeat sound. And
Love
I
it.
have an inspirational CD, a gospel CD coming out as well. That's just my projects. Also, I haven't sang in the last year and a half. I
Mm-hmm.
sacrificed music for the last year and a half. I came from California to Atlanta and invested in the whole building. I,
Mm-hmm.
I gutted the building out and turned it into a art therapy studio for
Oh,
people
okay.
because wise women do and wise men do as well
Yes.
when they have understanding. So what happened was God spoke to me and said, okay, I've done for you. Now it's time for you to pay it forward and do for others. So I
Oh,
created this place where creative people who are struggling can come for help.
oh.
See, if I stump my toe, I can go to the urgent care, I can go to the hospital. If I'm hungry, if I'm hungry for a burger, I can go to Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King, pizza, I go to, their subs. If I want groceries, if I want to, be filled with the Holy Spirit, I'll make plans to go to church on Sunday.
Yes.
Or go to YouTube. But where do I go if I have a dream deferred or ideas that I don't know where to start? I don't know how to stay consistent. I don't know how to finish. I don't know how to monetize. I don't know how to do much, but I do have talent and I have where does a creative person who is struggling go?
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere. They go get a real job.
Yeah. And be miserable their whole life because they can't be creative. That side is nowhere to be, harnessed there. So this is beautiful. You're in Atlanta, you said, right?
Yes,
Okay.
my business is now 10 days old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have a lot of clients who are excited. Everybody that signs up, they cry and they've been praying for help because a lot of people speak life, but not a lot of people do life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that do is critical. Do.
It is.
There is a God in heaven, but there's also a God in us.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible tells us that greater is God in us, greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. So there's a G inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
The word energy, it's just spelled wrong. It should be INNERG.
Mm-hmm.
People want your energy.
Yes.
They don't want you.
That's
They want
right.
that inner God. So
Yes.
I know people like, I'm gonna pray for you. No, what is God in you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell God to fix it. No, the God in you, what is it gonna do?
That's right.
So doing is very critical in my life. If you're gonna tell me you love me, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna love me, that's what I want. Doing it. Just do it. You gotta tell me. I'll see it when you do it.
Yes.
So yeah.
Huge proponent. I love it. And you've literally answered my next question, talking about you as an artist, a mentor, and a businessman, and really how you stay true to your creative vision. And this building that you have created just really nurtures that for the community, the underserved, and those beyond. Actually, it's helping people to find their inner selves, and nothing can be more beautiful in this life than that, because
Yeah.
there is no place for people to go and do that. I actually can't wait to continue that conversation with you, because I speak to high schools, or those actually recent grads and or small business women about those first and I classify myself as a business and marketing strategist, so right up my alley in regards to being creative and helping people figure out how to take that passion and turn it into revenue generating business. So I think I could possibly, add value what you're trying to create, because I definitely am all about that. I love it.
Good, 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 good. Because there are so many people who are looking for fertile ground.
I agree.
Inside of us are seed, or ideas are seed. But if you drop, well, first understanding that a seed in its container will live forever. It will never grow. It will stay in that bag forever. But if it accidentally falls into fertile ground, but so many people are releasing seed in unfertile areas, in concrete,
So true.
in dust,
Yeah.
it is in parking lots. If you release a seed, meaning talent, art, gifts, whatever, and it does nothing, it may not be the talent. It may be how you're releasing it and where you're releasing it. And so give the strategies. And I'm telling you, if you're talented and you come to a fertile place, it can't help but produce results.
That's
And
right.
so I have a 100% success rate. Everybody that comes here that wants to fulfill a dream, every person achieves their goals.
I
And
see it.
what they realize then is their goals were too limited. I have a book that I'm writing right now, and it's a group of worms that are all friends and they can talk.
Mm-hmm.
And all the worms are dreaming worm dreams, you know. But one of the worms didn't fit in. It was the biggest worm in her class. She was a little hairier than most worms. She was talented, but she always stuck out like a sore thumb among
Mhm.
all the other worms. And it wasn't until she got tired of being picked on and being different that she just went away and she removed herself from that unfertile environment. And she messed around and found fertile ground.
Mm.
And it was in that fertile ground that she realized that she was a caterpillar. She realized she was a caterpillar. She only discovered her greater potential after she left the environment where she thought she was that. See,
Mhm.
in fertile environments, you discover a part of you that you didn't even know existed.
Mhm.
You're not a worm, you're a caterpillar.
That's right.
So it was in that cocoon environment that she became a butterfly.
Love it.
So when she went back to the worms, they didn't even know her.
Mhm.
They could only recognize her voice, but her presence had changed. So her life was different. No
Yes.
longer scooted on the ground. Everything was now beneath her. And so I like to teach people that each of us have that caterpillar story in us. We just got to
Mhm.
find the right cocoon environment that will nurture our greater potential.
Yes, indeed. 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 Wow. 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 I love it. Woo. Okay. So, as you know, here on the Wise Women Do podcast interview series, the thread between our guests shares this question where we'd love to know if there's a woman mentor or someone in business that may have played a pivotal role in your career throughout, and just maybe some of the things that may have happened in those critical times, if that applies.
I think, yeah, everyone that I've dated
Mhm.
um, has played a major part in who I've become. Um,
Mhm.
win, lose, or draw, uh, uh, they were all key. I'm single today, but every person that has given something and taught me something and has taken me to another level,
Yes.
shown me a part of myself that needed to be matured or
Mhm.
need to be different or that was great and needed just to continue to develop. So every disciplined, wise woman, no matter whether they're uh, still in a relationship or were in a relationship, a wise woman who does makes everything better than
Mhm.
she found it. And so I'm a result of wise women who do. Uh, whatever happens for it not to last, that's a whole nother talk show. But they women who literally apply value and support, um, they make places better. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for beautiful, wise women who do.
Mhm. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for giving her the hers in your life, those potted
Yeah.
plants. I love that.
I like I like to give a shout out to one lady when I was in my early 20s who put me out.
Mm,
I was young and dumb.
okay.
Now I went to that stage. I come home and my clothes are in a hefty bag on the side of the porch. You know,
Okay.
I applaud her for not settling.
Mhm.
I applaud her for having standards. And so wise women who do know how to cut off, know when what is good for their lives. So
Yes.
I love women who execute strategies that are not healthy. And so at that point in my life, although it was traumatic at the time, it made a better me. So I shout out all the women who do.
Yes,
You're,
yes.
you're not going to do that in my house. And I'm so thankful.
Shout out. That is phenomenal.
I love women
Yes.
who do.
Yeah, especially a Black woman.
That's
I'm just
right.
saying. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Well, if you would, please tell our listening audience how they may find you, follow up and find this beautiful creative space that you've developed. And are you in that space? Are you looking for to get the word out to the community that you're there? You've been open 10 days. How can our listening community help you? Help
Yeah,
support?
it's called Creative Arts. So
Okay.
CO is the name of the business
Yes.
because any word that starts with co means something that you can't do by yourself. And a lot of times people are struggling because they're trying to do it by themselves.
Yes.
So Co is the name of the business, Co Creative.
Mhm.
I'm located in Hapeville, Georgia. I have a website called cocreative.com. That's
Mhm.
COCRE, the number 8, IVE.com.
Mhm.
And so if here's a phone number, 404-585-9955.
Mhm.
That's 404-585-9955. Everybody gets a free consultation. Everybody's not accepted in the
Mhm.
program. I only work with 30 people every 90 days
Okay.
because this is a one-on-one curriculum where I develop people's dreams. So
Yes.
there's no way you can work with a lot of people and give that one-on-one personal attention.
Mhm.
And I'm still actively touring and recording. So I
Mhm.
spread myself out to a point where I'm still effective to each person.
Absolutely.
Space is limited. And so those are the contact handles.
Mhm.
Call me and
Yes.
my director, her name is Josette Jenkins. She will probably facilitate the application and interview and all that stuff. But once
Mhm.
you're in, your life as a
Absolutely.
caterpillar is over. It's butterfly.
I absolutely love that. And I just love the step that you've taken to have the actual space. There's so much synergy with where we're going and what you're doing. And I just want to be there to support in any way that I can as well. So I'm excited to meet you.
That's
Um,
that, there's a message in what you just said.
the
Can
message that
I said
I,
that's a layered message in that. Can
oh,
you
yeah.
Are you good in photography?
Yes, I mean, I'm good at pretty much, all areas of. I have a good eye. I'll put it like that. I
Oh,
don't have a professional camera, but I have an excellent eye. And because I'm a producer, I've produced fashion shows for over 20 years. So, yeah.
wow, ladies and gentlemen, I think I just found my wise woman that does right there.
I got you, my brother. I got you. Excellent, excellent. Well,
Um,
thank you, Carmichael Music Lover. Anything else you want to leave with our listening audience before we get out of here? And I want you to stay on because I need to take some shots as well. But anything else you want to say?
no, continue to do and get on.
Continue to do.
If you want to achieve something, um, pray about it.
Mhm.
After you pray about it, listen for the response. And that's what a lot of people don't understand that after you put out the desire, you now have to position yourself to hear the response. And when the response comes, you can confirm and get clarity. But once you're clear, do.
Do.
And then it's done.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love it. I hope that I have not messed things up by not removing my pen, but I think we can fix that as we pull this into our editing. But thank you once again, sir. I do appreciate you.